Well, hello there, folks, and a very warm welcome as usual back to What's for Tea and our meals of the week for this week. And I do hope that I find you very well indeed. And thanks for coming over again just to see what I've made for the family dinners, starting off on Monday through till today, which is Sunday. And if you're new and it's your first time here, my name's Cheryl. We're a wee family from the west coast of Scotland. And like I said, it is just a part of the week where I share with you what I've made for the family dinners. If I've done a video on anything that you see here, I will always leave it linked down below. So on Monday, as you can see, we had Cornish pasty, not one we've had for such a long time. And it is just beef and vegetables and pastry. And we love baked beans with this kind of thing. You could obviously have it with like peas and gravy if you like that, but we much prefer the baked beans. So that's the Cornish pasty there, and it's a lovely flaky puff pastry, beautifully savoury, packed with mince and veggies, and that's just some plain boiled potatoes with parsley and a wee bit of butter and those lovely baked beans steaming away at the back. Easy, simple, but really, really tasty. And then moving on to Tuesday, you will have seen this one already if you watched the recipe that I posted on Thursday. And this was that lovely slow cooker scalloped potatoes with the ham and the garlic and cream sauce. And if you haven't watched this one, I highly recommend you do. And you get lots of portions out of it as well, and it's just so delicious. So we've got some plain salad leaves at the back, some cold ham, and that's those lovely potato scallops there. And the ham works so well in this. But if you're a veggie, you can just leave the ham out. And I would add something like mushrooms, something like that just for the texture. So you could still have this if you're a non-meat eater. But I think the ham just goes lovely in it, with the cream and the garlic. It all just works so well and ever so cheesy as well. So do give that one a go if you haven't seen it already. And then moving on to Wednesday, another one we haven't done for a wee while, and this was lasagna. And I made this one the day before, so it cut beautifully. I was really chuffed at how this one came out. Sometimes I don't have time to make it the day before, but if you can, I always recommend, do make your lasagna the day before, because like I said, it just cuts so much easier and it doesn't slide about your plate so much. It's just an aesthetics thing, doesn't affect the flavour. And then we've got some chips on the side, some salad leaves, some olive oil, lemon juice, and then just some tomatoes with Italian herbs. And that's a lovely big slice of that beef lasagna. Again, if you're not a fan of beef in your lasagna, you can make it with a whole host of vegetables or even corn mince, like a meat substitute mince, what I use from time to time, because you can use that in so many different things. It's so versatile. So highly recommend the corn mince if you've never tried it. And then moving on to Thursday, a really simple one. We were just going to be having cauliflower cheese, but then I discovered we had these wee skinny steaks or thin frying steaks in the fridge as well. So I cooked those up in the pan and sautéed some mushrooms. So that's the cauliflower cheese. It's just my standard cheese sauce in with cauliflower, and then popped into the air fryer on the grill setting just to go nice and crispy on the top. A couple of those wee thin steaks, they are tiny, so I just did 2 of those, and that's just some mushrooms sautéed in butter and a few herbs as well. And just lovely for a wee change just from the plain cauliflower cheese that we were going to be having. It gives you a nice wee protein hit as well, and a few mushrooms on the side that I had to use up because they were starting to look a bit sorry for themselves. And then moving on to Friday, we were actually out all day. We were out in a couple of long walks, and the day just got away from us. We just went in for a late lunch. We've been doing this quite a lot recently, and it's been working out really well because it means you're not eating too late in the day. We don't like to eat past 6 o'clock if we can help it. Sometimes it's between 4 and 5. It really does depend. But this day was getting on. So we walked by a wee sort of bistro cafe type place. So we just nipped in there. Mr. What's for Tea had soup and a roll, a nice hearty soup and a roll. And I just had a jacket potato with tuna, mayo and salad on the side. And this was packed with tuna. This was so filling. So this is all we had basically. We had some biscuits and tea later on, but that was our last kind of meal of the day. And then moving on to yesterday, we had chicken curry. I made a chicken curry in the slow cooker. This is the second time the slow cooker's been out this week because, again, it's just great if you're going to be busy. But it was in there a wee bit too long and the chicken had started to fall apart. So this is more of an Indian tomato style, tomato based curry instead of my usual Chinese takeaway style curry. And it was lovely for a wee change. Loads of tomatoes and herbs and peppers in there with some of that Tilda microwave piercing rice, about a half pouch of that on the side, with some coriander or cilantro, as you guys say in America and Canada, on the top. And then moving on to today, it was another really busy day. We were out driving and the day again was getting away from us, so we just stopped in at a wee chippy. This is about half an hour away from where we are, a wee place called Largs, and it's just a sort of traditional seaside type town. And they've got a few good chippies, but we stopped in at the Viking, and this is a small fish supper. She asked me when I ordered, do you want one fish or two? I said one will be absolutely fine, and I didn't even finish all of this, and Mr. What's for Tea had exactly the same. So it's just battered haddock and the chips are underneath, and we also had a wee pot of curry sauce as well. There's just salt on here. Sometimes I get salt and vinegar, but because I was having the curry sauce, I didn't bother with the vinegar. And then there's a very famous ice cream parlour or ice cream shop here called Nardini's, and they've got a lovely selection of ice creams. I got one scoop of Turkish Delight and one scoop of the birthday cake, and both were lovely. My favourite was the Turkish Delight. It tasted exactly the same as Turkish Delight, packed with rose water, and it was just lovely. Mr. What's for Tea got 2 scoops of raspberry ripple. How boring. There are so many fab flavours. He goes for raspberry ripple, but it is lovely. Like I said, we just sat by the water in the car, and that was everything that we had this week for the tea. So thank you so much for watching if you're still here, and a huge thank you as usual to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page and to the channel members here on YouTube as well. And I'm going to be updating those wee lists there today, so your names will be there soon. And thank you all for watching, and those that leave some lovely comments and share the videos, those that have left me a super thanks donation on the channel or bought me a coffee using the Buy Me a Coffee link. It's all very much appreciated, and I'm very lucky to have you, and I do realise that, I'm just here posting what we're having for our tea, and it blows my mind that you're still here every week. I mean, it's gone on to nearly 8 and a bit years now that I've been doing this, and so many of you have hung around for all that time. So thank you once again, and take care from me to you. Bye now.